Alrighty, guys. It is 3:30 this Thursday, July 17th, and we got a relentless market. Look at that. It is as non-stop grinding to the upside. Man, look at that. 2 o'clock hour came, no change in direction. A little bit pop, a little pullback, but nothing really breaking that trend. And they has been a net buying to the ups, net buying. So the market is grinding higher. And if you look at the F2, we are just making new highs. So and look at the F1, we are right up here. We are making new highs. We are extending. To me, this feels very much like a move out of the middle beginning. We'll see if they can keep this going right now. They're right up here against this upper level of resistance. So I've been looking for short setups, not super aggressive, a bit on the way up here. And on the Nasdaq, I'll show you what the kind of debacle I got myself into there. But it's been one of those knockdown dragouts. It has just nothing has worked on the way up here. I had retest failure here, nothing worked, nothing worked, nothing worked. Everything has been just slowly grinding to the upside. So right now you have the last hurrah. We'll see if they keep going, but it's one of those markets which happens now and then where the rotations just doesn't happen. So yeah, by this time, if you look back on the prior days when they've been grinding like this, or at least you get a couple of times when they knock it down pretty good, and you can be on the right side of that. But so far, the only way to trade this today has been to sit on the long side super patiently and hope you don't get shaken out. So sometimes the easy way is the right way. So we started range bound on the ES as it took out that 15th. We started leaning towards the long side, not and still looking for short setups on the way up. We are still range bound, but I would lean towards the long side at this point, see if they can retest these highs, potentially take it higher. So we'll see. But it's been one heck of a day, I tell you. Um, Tomorrow morning's news, yes, housing starts and permits at 8:30 and consumer sentiment at 10. So that's everything, all we have for tomorrow, July 18th. So I would stay on the long side right now or lean towards the long side. We still have to clear that 63.45s and they're right up here again. But man, nothing has worked in terms of retest failures on the way up. It's just been a steady grind and it's slow. So it's easy to get in there and get stuck in a trade and just see it kind of run you over. And that, my friends, is exactly what happened to me on the Nasdaq. So I'll show you that now. And I'm not proud over this trading day at all, I had to say. Before I get there, bond market, and that's just a quick one there. They're pretty much range bound. That's been going back and forth. So not much going on the bond, but range bound trading on the bond going into the overnight. On the Nasdaq, though, look at this debacle. Oh, I mean, I'm going to show you this embarrassment. Look at that. So I started off pretty good this morning with a nice short trade, was up 40 bucks or 45 bucks. And I tried my first retest failures on the way up here, one, two, both of them failed. I had one up here, and that's the one we were talking about last time around in the last update. I got shaken out of that thing. I tried two more short trades, and I was like, both of them, nothing worked. Just grinding higher, grinding higher. Every time they popped up a little bit, stopped me out, high ticked me, then pulled back a little bit, and then a little bit higher, and a nice retest fail setting up again. So you know what? When you get on the wrong side and you can't freaking get your head straight on, that's what happens. So at this point, um, basically these first two trades, I just stopped trying to try that short side and really start thinking about the long side instead. But mindset, man, it's just psychology and mindset. So stayed wrong, a couple of more trades. Then I finally, when I took a long trade, I got knocked down on that one too. They just ran down and low ticked me, and that was it. That was a low until we got all the way back over here to the 130 hour. That was like, and then you just shake your head like, now I just can't get anything to work here. Tried one more short trade here after the 2 o'clock hour, figuring out they had a shot again now. So it's literally out of 10 trades, I think I had one winning trade, one shakeout, and then 8 losers, and I just. A day like that, you just had to, it's like when you go and crack a beer open or something like that. But it's just one of these things. You can't get yourself head out of the mindset and just reassess the situation. So terrible trading day, awful. But it's what happens. Sometimes it happens, and that relentless squeeze to the upside just gets you caught, And the Nasdaq is making new highs. Nasdaq is in a move out of the middle to the upside, so they are higher. So, and it's. Those days it happens. It's when you try to take a short trade and just doesn't work, no matter what you do. And so you go back to the analysis. I mean, when I say something, I don't listen to myself. And you can't blame anyone but yourself, right? So trading from the long side of the market means you're looking to buy pullbacks, not stepping in front of it. So that's a good example of my own psychology. So anyway, we're starting from the long side. Let's see how far they can take it. We'll see if they're going to see a knockdown here into the close. But I'm done trading as this last trade was like I'm sitting in this thing and with this run down, he'll pull back. Okay, let's see, 2 o'clock hour. Let's see if they're going to run it lower now. No, 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 not happening. So we'll see. I mean, at one point, just like okay, slap yourself silly and stop messing with it. So my loss limit is like $100 or 10 points. That would be two stop outs on the Nasdaq basically, and that's I let that go too far today. So across the board, sloppy trading, and can't say anything about it. But both ES and Nasdaq are up there. ES is about to make new highs. Nasdaq is making new highs, and I would probably stay on the long side. I'll stay on the long side for now. They start pulling back below that single print at 23,200. Maybe go back range bound, maybe give it one level lower than that to the 150s. But looking to buy against these two support areas for rotations up. It's going to be an edge here at the 240s to get long against. But man, I hate it when I don't listen to my own analysis. It's like stepping in front of it. I tell you. Looking at oil and gold. Yeah, yeah, but it today has been one of those days, Mihail, when it's actually been pretty good if you're on the right side of it. So if you just freaking stay on the long side, the way as I described it this morning, you're looking for shorts, but not as aggressive. You're looking to buy weakness and start leaning towards the long side when 15 were coming out or the 200s came out on the Nasdaq. You would have probably been just fine. But the fact that it's just right up against an upper edge and it's so tempting to take that edge right at the edge and it's just they just keep grinding it. It's like a non-stop net buying going on, and they just kind of grind you out, and it's like, oh. And they keep high taking you. Let me show you. I mean, as you see here, like let me show you. So yes, so you know what I'm talking about. So when you're looking at something like this, and this is a good learning example. I mean, I just totally had to slap myself serious. So you're sitting in a trade, right? And you're sitting like this in a short trade, and they just height on this part, they just high tick me, then pull back right away. And then I got in a shoot. So I got in again. And then they come up and they just high tick. They stalled right here, and then they high tick me again a little bit further, and then backed off. So every time that happens, you get like, oh, I just missed it. Shit, just a little bit more, and then you just screw yourself over. So it's one of those days. You just have to stop my own rules, right? My own rules. So you when you have a losing trade, you sit on your hands for a while. Don't re-engage. Don't freaking do that stuff. And when you do, that's when you get yourself into these kind of troubles. So no one to blame but yourself, and that's how it goes. So gold, oil and gold. So gold is just back to value sitting here. So I would start range bound on gold. They're right here to that 33.40s, sitting here going sideways. Um, I know, Miel. It's like one of those days, especially when they grind like that. It's like, oh, you had great trade location, great setup, and it goes a little bit your favor, and then you just kind of stops and it starts grinding back against you, and then you get caught, and you can't get out, and then you a little burst, and it stop you out, and it's like, ah. So anyway, so gold back to value. Trade that's as a range bound market right now. They're back to value. Oil grinding higher, back up here against the 67. So I wouldn't be still in that range. So I would not be too aggressive on one side or the other. If anything, I would start from the long side on oil, see if they can retest these highs, potentially take it higher. But I would wait for the rollover since they're rolling it to tomorrow. So I was going to wait for that and just kind of watch it for and see what it looks like going into tomorrow's trading. All right. So oil and gold, and no trades on that one for me today on the ES. And let's go back to the Nasdaq again. Let's look at the disaster. And this one here, so the last trade I took after that in the 2 o'clock rundown, they'll pull back and they get in right at the edge. They're really good trade location. Had they stop right out, sorry, a tight stop, nothing big. And they look at that, they just freaking high tick me on that stop and then right back down again. And it's like frustrating. But at that point, I said, okay, I'm done. Now I'm done. I'm not gonna try to dig this hole any deeper. It can obviously be on the right side of it. So back to the ES, and you live and learn. Days like this are really difficult. It's easy to when you take a step back and look at it, but it's if you got your head on the wrong side of it, it's just to getting yourself out of that is really difficult. So you live and learn. But anyway, at that one point you had to know when to cut it off, and at least I know when to do that. So all right, guys, we leave it there. I'll see you back on back tomorrow morning, and then we'll go at it again. Maybe a little bit more with a head on top of my shoulders instead of like behind it, whatever. All righty, we'll leave it there. I'll see you back in the morning. All right, guys, later.